very good afternoon and welcome to an overcast Royal College Sports Complex as we await eagerly the kickoff between Royal and St. Thomas's for the 60th annual Michael Gunaratne Trophy 2024. Papare on the left taking on Ihan Bulatsingalage and his chargers on the right. It's going to be a battle royale, if you'll excuse the pun. And the 60th encounter, Royal have won 40, St. Thomas's have won a little less than 20, but it has been a rivalry for the ages. Joining me, a man who knows much more about this encounter than I do, Mr. Abdullah Yusuf, former captain of Royal. It's regardless of whatever happened last week, Abdullah, this is a match that Royal will always pick themselves up for.
Yes, most definitely, Shanika, especially given the fact they yet haven't been able to win any of their traditional trophies this season. So they will want to finish the season on a high, and I'm sure they'll come prepared mentally accordingly. The Thomians from their end will also definitely want to win this trophy. It's been a while since they have annexed the Michael Gunaratne Trophy, and there's no doubt that they will definitely be wanting to finish their season on a high as well. St. Thomas is just going down, unfortunately, to Isipatana last week in extra time in that knockout semi-final. So they'll definitely want to end their season on a high as well.
That's the weather forecast. The factor, of course, the wind. Where is it going to come from and whether the heavens are going to open? It is cloudy, as the weather card tells you. And if the rain does come down a little later on in the afternoon, what bearing will that have on this pitch? The underfoot conditions can get soggy pretty quickly, and what will it have on the ball handling as well? Do you see Royal coming out and wanting to really play a fast, expansive game, Abdullah? Will they have fixed those lateral running issues from last week and want to show everyone that they're a side that could really have been top contenders?
Yes, most definitely, and I don't think they should just deviate from their game plan too much. I think they need to use their forwards to just try and get over the gain line and earn the right to go wide. It's probably something which they haven't struck enough. They tend to go out wide a little bit too early and have been found wanting. So they need to show a lot more patience. Just try and attack those fringes as much as possible, draw their Thomian defense in before deciding to go out wide.
There was the junior Thomians who've just won the Thambapille Trophy in convincing fashion, but Royal winning all the junior games below that as well, as we see the crowd still coming in to this Royal College Sports Complex. You're live on the Papare TV. It's going to be an outstanding affair, Abdullah, because St. Thomas's haven't won this trophy since 2016, when that spectacular finish of Navin Henakan Kanamge gave them the trophy. The last time of asking, it's been 8 long years since then. Previous to that, it was Devin Jasinga's team in 2013, and it was 8 long years to Nama Rajapaksa before that as well. So St. Thomas's have pretty much forgotten what this trophy looks like.
Yeah, that's right, and they definitely want to pull this one off just to end the season on a high note, as this is how the tally stands between both schools. There have been 66 encounters. Royal way ahead, 40 wins to the Thomians, 20 with 6 drawn. But what matters is what happens today. And no doubt that the Thomians will definitely sniff a chance, isn't it, Shanaka? Probably at the start of the season, if you looked at it, you'd probably say Royal overwhelming favourites. But you'd have to say the Thomians have improved leaps and bounds as the season has progressed, and will definitely fancy their chances today.
Yes, the gap certainly has closed as the season has gone on, but the gap between that 40 and 20 will take some closing, Abdullah, and that gap was probably a lot closer back when you were playing in the 90s, because it was to and fro. But in the last 25 years or so, Royal have been absolutely dominant.
Yeah, that's right. The wins for St. Thomas's has been few and far between during that period. But I think they've just got to take it year by year, isn't it? Not look at those stats too closely. As we can see, the crowd slowly but surely building up here at the Royal College Racecourse.
Well, this is what doesn't make great reading if you're a Thomian fan. Royal College winning last year comfortably by a 20-point margin, and very close to that same margin in the year before as well. In 20 and 21, we didn't have the encounter played due to COVID. And of course, 2019, 18, 17, there's a 3 game Royal streak. The streak broken only by the wins under Devin Jasing in 2013 and Pandula De Silva in 2016. Both close games as well. Even the match at Havelock Park where Devin Jasing's team was much favoured to win was a lot closer than people would have liked in the blue and black jerseys. So Tiven Pereira will lead his side out here today. He has had to surrender the Bradby up in Pallekele after a 10-year long hold on it, and he will be desperate to make sure that the Michael Gunaratne remains in the Royal Trophy cabinet for yet another year. It's going to be one of those games, Abdullah, that we are not going to be able to call till the last 5 minutes.
Yes, you just have that feeling, is it, Shanaka, that this game could go into those very last few moments, just as we've seen so many games during this latter part of the season. So it's going to be a really close encounter, and whichever team just grabs and seizes that opportunity will probably end up lifting this trophy.
And how do you see the events of last week impacting the two teams, Abdullah? Yes, Royal coming off a loss. Both teams actually coming off a loss, two close losses. Royal having their hearts broken in the final minute of that game, and St. Thomas is taking Isipatana to extra time and then suffering that devastating loss in extra time. So how will those two losses impact these teams? Would it be similar, or do you think it'll have a different impact on the way you've seen these teams coming through the season?
Yes, well, just having been involved in those close encounters, just a close loss like that definitely takes a lot out of you emotionally, not just physically. So Royal will definitely need to have regrouped. I'm sure they would have. There would have been a lot of soul searching in the week leading up to this game. But for the Thomians, this is their big one, isn't it? They've annexed quite a few of their traditional trophies this season. So I'm sure they'll just want to top it off with a good win against their traditional foe.
Yes, they've won the Father Rosati Trophy, they've won the Lady Jayatilaka Shield, surrendered the Canon R.S. Deserum Trophy, of course, up in Pallekele, to a brilliant performance by Trinity, who started off their season really well before they ended up with those two close losses to DS and Isipatana. And this will be another trophy that they're hoping to get their hands on. They've yet to play Wesley in their traditional fixture, and of course yet to play St. Peter's as well. Remains to be seen whether those games will get played, whether fixtures will be played. But for Royal, it's one of those unusual seasons where the trophy cabinet is still barren at this point of asking.
Yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure they'll definitely want to put that right today. It's not very often does Royal go trophyless, if I may use that word. So they'll definitely want to put their best foot today, and what you'd have to say has been a relatively disappointing season, and just cap it off with a bit of silverware.
For St. Thomas's, though, from the other side of the coin, it has been an encouraging season. It started off with everyone thinking, oh dear, more of the same, when Trinity won quite handsomely up in Pallekele. But since then, St. Thomas's have done very well to beat DS. They've lost to Isipatana very close. And of course, the felicitations for coach Dushant Leuke, who takes charge of the Royal Tuskers for the 50th time today, Abdullah. You've been around when he was a junior player. He played with your brother in that undefeated 2002 team, was part of the 2000 and 2001 teams that were amazing teams for Royal College, and then now has graduated from playing to the country, playing for CRNFC, playing for Kandy, winning many league titles as a player in the school circuit, in the club circuit, and now he has got this ultimate goal of being the most successful coach at Royal College. Speak more about that after we come back from the anthems. Both anthems coming to an end there, and the crowd gathered here. It's not as packed as you would have expected, but it is a long weekend as we look at St. Thomas's from Kavish Lenagala, Dehan Senaratne and Sitil Pereira, their long-standing front row. Wanigasurya and Wanigasurya in the second row. Akash Fernando comes into the blindside flank position. Shevin Udugama restored to the starting lineup with Michael Gunaratne at number 8. Venuka Vikramasuriya and Udan Bulatsingalage make up the halves combination. Akit Kure returns on the left wing with St. Thomas's most fearsome partnership so far this season. Ahaliagoda and Lena Gunawardhan are coming together, and Jehan Jayasinghe on the right wing with Yahan Bulatsingalage, the captain, moving to fullback. Gunaratne, Ranjit Singh, Pereira, Nawaz, Jnanadas, Alavihara, Cameron, Dias, Kasturiarachi and Akbar make up the 25 for the Thomians.
And the Royal 15. Tinet Gamage, Nakib Mohammed and Abdul Rahman will form the front row. Yahan Veerasur and Gesandu Vijayawardena will form the second row. Bonika Senanayaka, Senuja Rana Singh and Ayashyam will form the back row. Savit Fernando and Idris Farooq will be the halves combination. Amika Samar Singh and Nabil Yahya, Tiven Pereira, Fahad Nazar and Yuan Nisalita will be the back line. In the replacements, it will be Yatavara, Mudan Kotua, Aman Patirana, Jaya Nidu, Farooq, Hanifa, Vikramasinghe, Mohideen and Jaya Surya. So Royal have made a couple of changes. It looks like Patirana has moved to the bench and probably will come on during that second half to make an impact. And it looks like Fahad has also taken his place on that left wing. So not many changes, I guess, Shanika, from both teams. They're just trying to rely on their combinations and try and get the best out of them in what will probably be the final encounter for both these schools this season.
Well, the man in the middle is going to be Clement Isaac, former Trinity and currently residing in the UAE and refereeing there as well. So he will be the man in the middle today. Interesting that Royal have chosen to go with Bhuvanika Seranayaka in the flank position and Gesandu Vijayawardena coming in just to maybe add a little bit of height to this Royal line-out and make sure that they have three options. That's a really interesting call from Coach Dushant Lekhi. We were talking about him before the anthems, Abdullah. A 50th game for him, what a milestone.
Yes, no doubt a great individual milestone for Dushant. I'm sure he'll want to cap that off with a win today, just to have something to show for the Royal team. So far that, as we were talking earlier, that trophy cabinet has been bare, and just want to put in also a good performance for their supporters as well. Gut-wrenching defeat last week up in Pallakele, and they'll definitely want to end their season on a positive note.
Well, I know it is a gut-wrenching result, Abdullah, but if you are going to lose a Bradby, what a way to lose it, isn't it? That's the kind of game that I think Royal expected to do. Take Trinity right down to the wire in the Lions' Den, and goodness didn't they do that. Can they cap that performance off with a memorable victory here today? The Thomians will stand in the way, or at least attempt to stand in the way of that. Let's see what Yahan Bulatsingalage and his boys have in store for us for the balanced 70 minutes. But Idris Farooq, a man who shone the last time this team ran out with number 10 on his back, will be looking to repeat that performance today. And outside him, Nabil Yahya also giving a lot of calmness to the youngster with that experience outside him.
Yeah, that's right. And also another interesting observation in that Thomian team lineup, Shanaka, is Bulatsingalage moving to the fullback position, but he'll probably be roaming between that first receiver and number 15 place. I don't think he'll remain in that fullback position throughout the game.
That is also a little bit of a concern, Abdullah, that he doesn't remain in that fullback position as often as he should. But it is something that has been worked on for him. But St. Thomas's tidying that collection up, and Menuka Vikram Surya will give it away to younger Bulatsingalage brother. So very early on, referee Clement Isaac saying that you can't chase the kick if you are in front. You have to retire, which means the kicker, especially if he's in the pocket, needs to put the team onside before they can advance.
Yes, referee laying around the law pretty early, so teams will need to be on notice. He very clearly communicated, isn't it, Shanika? Stay on side, don't chase, but that's as much as the referee can do. The players just need to heed that voice and follow instructions accordingly.
He said it'll be interesting to see what Royal do here, because they have got a few trick players in that line out, and they go to their number 7, Sanuja Ranasinghe, who has been the preferred option, and they get the march on now. Is it going to be an early score for this Royal Mall? They've gone off the side. St. Thomas is managing to push them back. That's really good defense by the Thomians. Nakib Mohammed lays it back, and now the pick and go. Tinetra Gamage latches on to his ball carrier Ayesh Siam. Now Yahan Veerasurya. Looks like it was Udugama who competed well there. Looking for that pre-latch and driving forward. It's again a good bit of defense from the Thomians, and now they go wide. Here's Steven Pereira, gives it out the back. There's space opening up, and this is the first try coming in for Fahad Nazar. Easy does it. As you said, Abdullah earned the right to go wide, and that's exactly what they did.
Yes, they showed good patience, wasn't it? They drew the defense in, and Fahad just putting the finishing touches. So just the start Royal would have wanted. Very efficiently executed. Nice wraparound move, and just keep holding that defense was Patirana before passing on to Fahad to put the finishing touches. So that just make Royal feel so much better. But they've got to keep in mind, Shanaka, last week as well, Royal went into the lead within those first few minutes, and need to ensure that they do keep their composure, their shape for the remainder of this game, because no doubt the Thomians are going to come back strong.
Well, it was a silly penalty that they conceded early on, not listening to the referee. And discipline is the name of the game. And if you ask Dushant Liuke in his 50th game now, ask him, what do you think? That's a massive kick from Idris Farooq right from the corner flag. That just goes to show the quality of the lad. We've been talking about Shan Altaf all week, but he was only very slightly shaded in that performance. But discipline is going to be the key factor in this game. St. Thomas is conceding a penalty in a part of the field that you can only expect Royal to score from. There's the kick again. Doesn't snatch at the ball. Not a very long follow through either, but his technique is pretty good. Nice work by Nabil Yahya also in that last move. And just a little bit too much on that. It's not the first time that he's done this at this ground, where he's found the deadline with one of his kicks. It happened against Isipatana as well. So the smaller ground probably being something that he needs to adjust to. And this is why it would be nice for Bulat Singalage to be out a little early in the warm-ups, making sure that he gets the absolute dimensions of this game right. But those are few issues. But the first scrum of the game now, Ayash Shyam will be sizing this one up.
It's an ideal attacking opportunity for Royal. Both sides of the field available. Fernando with the feed. Shyam links up with Fernando. Once again, just spreading the ball out wide. Not much to work with. Fahad takes the ball into contact. Royal create another phase. It's good by Royal. Keeping it tight. Deciding to go out wide. Long passes. Much headway. Samarasinghe takes the ball into contact. Ball passed once again. Oh, lovely angle by Gamage.
It's taken forward by Ayash Shyam now, who links up with his back. Steven Pereira with a nice flat ball to Fahad Nazar, the danger man. Jayasinghe stays in the fight to bring him down. And now Fernando. Good continuity by Royal. Nakib Mohammed making ground, and Fernando with some nice quick ball. Ayash Shyam in the line again. They're preferring him as the first receiver to Veerasurya from last week. And here's Yahya. Flying into that ruck was one of the Royal players undoing all that good work. It was Yahya himself.
Yes, I don't think it was the intention of the team for Yahya to take that ball into contact, because there were no players tracking him in to that breakdown, which probably forced one of the Royal forwards to fly into that ruck. As we have a look at that once again, as you can see, it was Ayaz Shyam realized that that Thomian player was going to poach the ball and just did not maintain his body weight.
Well, that's a shame for Royal, because they built up some really good phases. Looked like they had the Thomian defense just before cracking. And it was an unnecessary penalty given away that sees Dehan Senaratne to throw into the first line out for the Thomians. Nicely won by Vanigasurya, and Venuka Vikramasuriya has a quick ball out for Yahan Bulatsingalage coming in on the angle. Fernando helps to take him down. Vikramasuriya, here's Michael Gunaratne now. Good drive from him, trying to be dragged down by his opposite number, Vikramasuriya. Bulatsingalage, Jayasinghe stepping in field. Has Liana Gunawardena or Haliagoda with him. Udugama into the 22 for the first time in this game. Michael Gunaratne again pumping his legs, staying strong, but it's a lovely rip from Ayaz Shyam, his opposite number, who gets the better of the youngster. Idris Farooq dragged down. And now Royal have an opportunity. And this is where Royal really need to make good decisions. Not play too much rugby in their half and just get to the other end of the pitch. Looks like they've learnt that lesson. But Venuka Vikramasuriya is the beneficiary of a charge down, partial charge down. Picked up, but tripping over was the Thomian player, Akash Fernando now. Dives in, much to the chagrin of his Shakespeare director, who's hoping he doesn't come away with a battered face before tomorrow's final. Akash Fernando still going, needs to find some support. Finds it now. The Thomians are a little lazy to the ball. Here's Liana Gunawardena. Not really sure there were too many arms in that tackle from Gamage. Here the Thomians hammering away at the line. Abdur Rahman making the tackle. Shaneshka Liana Gunawardena goes over, but he's held up and very clearly. But good period of pressure by the Thomians and showing Royal that they're not going to have it all their own way.
Yes, and it's all started by that poor clearance by Patirana. Just thought he was a bit too close to the breakdown, wasn't it, when he tried to clear the ball. It was charged down, and wonderful start by the Thomian scrum of Vikramasuriya. It's what started that all off, and Thomians will be pretty disappointed in the chance they couldn't put the finishing touches from that point.
Certainly will be, because they would have been hoping that they can finish that. The two brothers getting in each other's way. Sure, that's not something new. Vikramasuriya manages to stay strong in that tackle of Samarasinghe. Bulatsingalage cuts back infield, does Jayasinghe. Vikramasuriya with the ball available, and now Akash Fernando needs some support. Vikramasuriya again to Michael Gunaratne, puts the big fend on, takes two to bring him down. One of them is Yahya. Vikramasuriya again to Udan Bulatsingalage. Shaneshka Liana Gunawardena just does enough, does Abdur Rahman to bring him down. No scrum half. And here's Bulatsingalage now. So off the feet first is the call from referee Clement Isaac. He's gone beyond the ball before he managed to challenge for it. And what's the call here from Bulatsingalage? He's pointed to the posts, and I think Royal, being under the kind of pressure they were, would maybe have gone for the line.
Yes, well, it's always a tough call, isn't it, Shanak? But just so earlier on in the game, isn't it? Just getting those first few points And just calming those nerves could be important. Don't have too much of an issue with this call. Most times Bulat Singhla pretty reliable with his boot. And that was the infringement. Royal forward, it was Aishiam being, or rather it was Rana Singha not supporting his body weight. Very clearly articulated by the referee.
In fact, it was Gesandu Vijay Gunawardene in the number 6 jersey who swapped places with Bhuvanika Senanayake on the team sheet. We'll tell you what that looks like on the scrum as Bulat Singhla curls this one in. It was an in-swinging Yorker and he gets it just in between the posts. That right-hand post on this scoreboard end of the Royal College Sports Complex has become a controversial one. I don't know whether the Royal College Committee is thinking of adding a yard or two to those uprights just to reduce the doubt.
Yes, it's more an outswinging Yorker, wasn't it, Chanaka? More and would have missed the stumps as it was, but nonetheless, the Thomians are on the board, and I'm sure that will just make them feel so much better.
Yes, it does. It's gone backwards, and again, trying to snatch that clearance, Bulat Singhla just needs to set up, and again, a botched exit, allowing Royal back into the game immediately. There's no prizes for guessing what the initial tactic is going to be, and Ayash Shyam, who had a superb second leg of the Bradby, lays this one back, Gesandu. In fact, it's Abdur Rahman who takes it up. Nakib. Fernando. That's really good work from Liana Gunawardene there. And Royal need to roll out of the way, but Venuka Vikramasuriya has a box kick in his armoury, which he's put up for Idris Farooq. It was a good chase.
Hands off now.
Again, the jackling work done by Michael Gunaratne, who doesn't manage to come away with the ball this time though. Thiven Pereira hands it off nicely. Samarasinghe. Nice little exchange of passes in the tram lines, and here's the big man, the dangerous Veerasurya.
Stay up.
Savinda Fernando. Senanayake. Straight in over that ball was Dehan Senaratne, the experienced hooker who missed quite a bit of the season with a foot injury, and they really have improved since his comeback, Abdullah.
Yes, some wonderful work at the breakdown, especially when you have been hit behind the gain line to come round. And interesting call by the Thomian skipper here. Well behind the halfway mark as we have a look at that again. Good run by Gamage. And then again the Royal forwards just taking the ball with too much depth, isn't it, Shanaka? Talking about that before, they need to be a bit more flat when they take that ball to the line. Interesting to see Bulat Singhla, very confident young lad. 55 meters, you'd have to say, but dead straight.
Zero hesitation pointing for the post, didn't he? It's at the different end of the game to that match-deciding 55-meter kick last week. But Bulat Singhla early on in the game, so rifle boot, got the leg certainly, just wide, just short, but doesn't matter because they're going to get the 22-meter dropout.
Yes, I think it was worth a shot, wasn't it? I don't think can fault the decision. Also, generally the Thomians in this first half will be playing against the wind, a slight wind as it is. It's not very obvious at this stage, but nonetheless, he did strike it well, just couldn't find the target.
It's also at sea level here, Abdullah, and not with the altitude, which helps these long distance kicks. Idris Farooq takes it beautifully. and gets a break on, finds the pass to Veerasurya. It looks slightly flat, but play on is the call. Farooq now got his team 50 meters. Nakib. Tinatra Gamage now. Here's Gesandu.
Tackle roll.
It'll be interesting to see that penalty again if we can. Tackler not rolling away was the call.
It's decision making time here for Royal. Looks like they'll be going to the corner. The first driving maul was pretty good by the Royalists, so feel that they can impose their maul on this Tomian 8.
16 gone.
Well, this is the thing with Royal, isn't it, Abdullah? If they get close inside the 40 meters and you give away a penalty, they're going to punish you. And you're not going to beat this Royal side by kicking penalties, which is why I would like the Tomians to be a little braver and really go for the line. That's overthrown, an uncharacteristic mistake from Nakib and Udugama.
Roll.
Well, roll is the call, and that time Ayashiam was a lot slower than the penalty that was awarded moments ago, which is why it would have been nice to see that one. So Royal just about 5 meters away from where they originally came to. Will have another opportunity.
Can you decide the numbers, please? Sorry, 8 man. 8 in the line. Let's go.
Full line out for Royal, which could only indicate one option. Taken in the front by Senanayaka. Taken down by Royal is the call, and this time it's Yahya. Looks like he might have copped a bit of an injury there. Thumping run by Tinatra Gamage. Outstanding prop forward.
Now leave it.
This is Royal doing what they do best. Steven Pereira now will look for the long ball. Here it is, one-on-one. Yuan Pathirana just manages to get it away and place it for his support. Stepping back infield was Ranasinghe. Now manages to find some support. Fernando with a nice long ball out, and here's Senanayaka in midfield.
Leave it. Leave. No hands now. On the floor.
Taken
Roll,
quickly
Blue.
by Royal. Good defense by the Tomians, driving them sideways. Ayashiam, such a low center of gravity. Reminds me a little bit, very little bit I have to say, of Bilal Hassan. The way he carries that ball into contact, Ayashiam.
Tackler release.
Very little chance of him not coming back with the ball placement. Here's Farooq now. Little bit of space opening up, and Samarasinghe cuts back in field. Keeps it alive. Royal changing the point of attack. Here's Senanayaka. And the penalty was coming. It looked like it was Vaniga Surya who managed to get over the ball. Really good work from him. The number 6 jersey. And again, another period of attack. St. Thomas is surviving.
That's right, and Royal will be disappointed with that phase after phase, but credit to the Tomian defense. They held their line and pounced on the opportunity when it came their way.
Another botched exit though, Abdullah, which allowed Royal back in, and just can't stress how important that facet of the game is.
Yes, pretty disappointing touch finder, you'd have to say. needed to have got a few more meters into that kick. The positive for Thornmans is they do have the ball.
And nicely done by Vanigasuriya. Here's Senesh Kalyan Gunaratne. In fact, it's Ahaliagoda in the number 13 jersey this time. It's been swapping between the 11 and the 13s, and Vikramasuriya will thump this one high. Idris Farooq has been very good so far under the high ball, but that time it's his halfback partner Fernando who takes it behind him. The defense, the competition at the breakdown has been pretty fierce so far. How much can these teams continue this level of intensity? That's a floated ball from Gamage, and Farooq is caught well behind the gain line. Has to cut back in. Zero options of going wide. So again the ball slowed down by that forward. And this time Johan Patirana opts for the 50-22 option. Doesn't find touch, but it's high up in the air for Nabil Yahya to chase. Well tackled in the end by Jayasinghe, who gets back to join the fray and counteracts well for a winger. Ayashian hands it off to Ranasinghe. Royal still with the ball but have gone backwards. It's been knocked forward by Tinetra Gamage. So good defense again by the Thomians.
Yes, Royal just unable to get over that gain line. Constantly being pushed back. Yes, as you very correctly said, Shanika, the competition at breakdown has been pretty fierce, isn't it, by both teams, throwing everything at it. Probably encourages both teams to keep the ball in play and stay on their feet.
What that might mean, though, is that the game will open up in the last 20 minutes or so. So whoever stays in touch, it's going to be a lottery. Michael Gunaratne, first opportunity to go off the back of the scrum. Nice step in. He's mastered that art of stepping in and sending the flanker the wrong way. But what they need from that ruck is quick ball, as Akash Fernando does well, to snaffle that juggled ball. It's Dehan Senaratne taking it hard into contact. And Michael Gunaratne again, who started the move off. Seems like we've lost our comms with the referee, unfortunately. Nakib Mohammed taking a bit of time to get out of there, but doesn't get penalized. It's a good tackle on Bulat Singh Alage. Vikramasuriya now, will he look for the little chip over the top? Instead looks for his young number 8. Devastating ball carrier, Gunaratne. And defense winning again that time.
Yes, both teams are competing, isn't it? That they're throwing people into the breakdown, creating pressure. And they're definitely getting value for that. So Farooq just having a peek at the post, but skipper Tiven Pera said no, we'll go for touch.
So both teams attacking well, but just can't find that last pass. And that was a superb touch finder. What an absolutely stunning kick from Farooq.
Absolutely brilliant from the halfway mark. Probably 55 meters, Shanika, and right on the touchline as well. Now another great opportunity for Royal to employ that driving maul. Of course, need to win clean ball first at the line out.
There's 10 minutes left on the half, and Royal haven't troubled the scorers since the 3rd minute. They will desperately want to score before half time. Michael Gunaratne standing on the sidelines will want to get in there and help his team repel this one, but no chances of that happening as the Thomians pile in and try to keep this maul out of the real danger zone. Udugama does well, but might have dragged that one down. Fernando, Here's Fahad Nazar, likes it close to the line. Beautifully done by Fahad Nazar, and Yuan Patrana will touch down. Superb bit of work by Fahad Nazar. He spotted exactly where the gap was, came in close to the line, took it at pace, held the defense up, and found the threaded needle right into the gap. A lovely long pass.
Brilliant, and coming from his wing as well. And just skipping a couple of players, and again it was Yahya, I believe, who just drew the defense and gave it over for Patirana, who had nothing much to do other than just touch the ball down. So Royal further extend their lead. Have to sense, Shanika, probably the Thomians thought they did the needful by stopping that maul, but found wanting outside. There was a massive overlap as well, isn't it? So you have to assume that a lot of the three quarters were drawn into that second breakdown, which left a massive space out for the Royal three quarters to put the finishing touches.
I think it was a really good bit of poaching from Fahad Nazar there, actually, Abdullah, because he spotted the angle to hit the ball at, and he managed to take an entire cohort of Thomian defenders away and out of danger. And that long ball that he threw so close to the line, it's not something we do very often, close to the line, and suddenly the defenders were looking around like headless chickens and didn't know where to go.
So as we have a look at that try once again, a couple of phases before, but it was skipper Tiven Pereira who held the last Thomian defender before passing off to Pereira, or rather Patirana, to put the finishing touches.
Well, he's having a bit of a hangover from the last game. He could easily have scored that one himself. Went for the line up in Kandy and was denied, so made the pass. It's good leadership from the skipper. Unselfish stuff. And it's 12 points to 3. And Royal will look to exit through the boot of Patirana. But they're back to making the same mistake that St. Thomas's made in the second minute of the game.
Yes, referee Isaac, very consistent in that call. The Royal forwards needed to either backtrack or wait for a while before they were put on side. So an opportunity for the Thomians. Bulat Singh Rage puts it into touch, just about 10 meters away from the goal line.
And the Papare band has started up. And Royal will now defend close to their line. It's nicely sacked that time by Royal, and Michael Gunaratne trundles his way towards the line. Great work from the young number 8, Udugama. Here it is for Senaratne. The forwards have finally caught up with each other. Udugama goes again. Akash Fernando. St. Thomas's were so close yet so far moments ago. Just didn't manage to find the try line. They'll hope to go a few inches better this time, as Liana Gunawardena was held up just over the line. Senaratne gets in and he scores. Dehan Senaratne, excellent body position. And towards the end of the half, with some tired legs and lungs flagging a little bit, Senaratne gets over, and the Thomians, with the conversion to come, may just be 2 points adrift.
There's an important score for the Thomians. Looked as if Royal were probably bridging that gap on the scoreboard, but St. Thomas's have hung in there, giving Royal a little bit of their own medicine, attacking along the fringes. Royal did try to defend it, but eventually had to yield to some very well executed play by the Thomian forwards, and the conversion is successful. So it's a 2-point game as we've reached the 30-minute mark of this first half.
Morale boosting score for both Jahan Bulatsingalage and his Thomian team. The Thomian forwards haven't taken a step back in the face of this massive assault by the big Royal 8 Abdullah, and that will be encouraging for them. But what they would like to see is a little bit more quality ball in the hands of their centre pairing.
Yeah, that's right. That's something which we haven't seen so far. Royal have had the opportunity. They've not been afraid to throw the ball out wide. The Thomians just haven't taken whatever opportunities that has come their way in terms of three-quarter play. As Farooq restarts, a long kick. Charge down. Goes over the dead goal line, so it'll be a 22-meter dropout. Don't think the Thomians would mind that too much.
Well, they're lucky that it ricochets so far off the body of the player charging down, but Bulatsingalage seems to make the same mistake more than once in a game, which is something that he needs to improve from his individual perspective as a player, because he was charged down the last time they kicked off. And this time will look to go nice and deep, but now the chase needs to be good for the Thomians. Pereira looks for Patirana, steps off his right foot, trying to find a little bit of space and gets up to the halfway line. Here it is for Yahya. That characteristic carry into the tackle. Akash Fernando does brilliantly. Great turnover from Fernando. His father, former Anand the captain, whose heart would have broken yesterday when his team just couldn't manage to make it to the Premier Trophy. Beaten at the post by a gallant Mahanama side. He's watching in the crowd while his son effects turnovers. Here's a little bit of space for Samarasinghe. Dragged down in a nice cover tackle that time by Udan Bulatsingalage. Royal on the attack. Farooq thinks about it, then gives it away to Veerasurya. Over the ball is Michael Gunaratne. He's well cleared by Nakib. Here's Veerasurya. The ball is out and Vanigasurya will pick up. So it's to and fro stuff here. Bulatsingalage will look for the 50-22. Just manages to bounce it in the field of play and just doesn't go into touch. But Patirana will be forced to kick this one nice and deep. But comes back into the hands of Bulatsingalage. He thinks about the pass, then opts for the kick. Now the ball is bouncing dangerously for Idris Farooq. Here's Vanigasurya now. Not the man you want in open field, but Liana Gunawardena will bump off one tackle and take the ball inside the 22. Akash Fernando needs to pick and go quickly, but Vikramasuriya calls for it. That's high, and it might be dangerous for Tinetra Gamage.
Yes, a reckless challenge by the Royal prop forward. Could find himself in a lot of trouble here. Again, Royal just putting themselves under a lot of pressure. It was not a very good clearance by Idris Farooq. So Royal will be down to 10 players. The referee had absolutely no option. And an opportunity here for the Thomians.
It would be good to see that one again. See exactly what happened. Vikramasuriya is up. Or Bulatsingalage rather is up. Vikramasuriya clearing.
So interesting option by the Thomians, deciding to go to touch. Shanaka on the stroke of half time. It could go either way if the Thomians do get a score here.
Well, absolutely, Abdullah. I would have actually gone for the scrum. Forced Royal to send out a line-out jumper.
That's good. That's the mark.
Dehan Senaratne has it at the back. Wanika Surya is marching his players forward. Senaratne still going, and he will score. Dehan Senaratne gets a brace, and St. Thomas's on the stroke of half-time go into a lead that nobody expected them to have at the quarter mark of this game. And a brave decision to go to the corner in the face of Dinitra Gamage's yellow card has paid dividends.
Marks on me.
Absolutely, Shanaka. A very brave call. Thought going to the post would have been wise a choice so close to half-time, but the Thomians had the confidence with the Royal 8 being down 2-7. And a brilliantly executed driving maul. We'll see the Thomians going into half-time with the lead, and Thomian skipper to just put the icing on the cake, which will be a brilliant first half for the Thomians.
We're getting a extension of a lead. Will be excellent for the Thomians, and the crowd behind the Thomian skipper raise their voice as Clement Isaac blows for half-time. And it's a 5-point ball game, with St. Thomas's coming back with the wind at their back. Bulat Singalage, for one of the very rare times at this Royal College Sports Complex, or Jurassic Park as our mutual good friend Boa Atakorala calls it, is able to signal to the Thomian crowd to cheer his team on.
Yes, brilliant. You'd have to say last 15 minutes by the Thomians, isn't it, Chanaka? Till then, Royal had everything going their way, the dominated position as well as territory. But has been the case in a lot of games, Royal, this season, have been not been able to put the finishing touches to a lot of moves, and they've left a few points on the field. And you'd have to say in this half they've done that as well. And as a result, they find themselves trailing 17 points to 12.
17-12 at the Royal College Sports Complex in the 66th annual Michael Gunaratne Trophy game between Royal and St. Thomas's. You're on the Papare TV. We'll be back after the break.
One of the hardest moments in life is when we figure out how little control we actually have over the things that happen to us, right? But what we can control is how we respond to them. And I just know that with a little time, clarity will come.
Stories worth telling, lives worth saving in Chicago Med, Season 9 on Rock Entertainment.
Prepare for Saturday night thrills. Pelham 123 has been taken.
Who the hell is this? This is gonna give the city a run for its money.
Fulfill your need for speed in Days of Thunder.
You build me a car and I'll win Daytona.
That's a race car drive.
On a dark day, New York's finest stepped up.
You won't believe this. Roof smash center.
Stay together and stay focused.
And a big heist calls for a mini solution.
We do it like the Italian job.
Saturday is blockbuster night this September on Hits Movies.
With the
උදේතිරේ මහේෂා කිතාරු පුංචිතිරය ආලෝකමත් කරන ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ ජනප්‍රියතම සිනමා නාලිකාව රිදී TV. එදා හදබැඳි මෙදා රසවිදි කළු සුදු සිනමාවේ පටන් නූතන HD යුගය දක්වා නාද වර්ණ සුසංයෝගී වූ පුළුල් සිනමා රසවින්දනය ශ්‍රී ලාංකික සිනමා රසිකත්වය වෙනුවෙන්ම ඩයලොග් ටෙලිවිෂන් චැනල් අංක 18න් රිදී TV.
ඔයාලගේ කම්පැනි එකේ, ඔයාලගේ ක්ලබ් එකේ, ඔයාලගේ ස්කූල් එකේ යූත් එකට සෙට් වෙන ඕනම ඉවෙන්ට් එකක් The Papare TV එකෙන් මුළු ලංකාවටම පෙන්වන්න අපි ලෑස්ති. ඔයාලත් ලෑස්තිද? අපිට කතා කරන්න.
The Papare TV, The Papare TV HD ඩයලොග් ටෙලිවිෂන් නාලිකාංක 63 සහ 126 ඔස්සේ ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අංක 1 ක්‍රීඩා නාලිකාව.
ලෝකයේ වැඩිම දෙනෙක්ගේ විනෝදාංශයක් චිත්‍රපට නැරඹීම. ෆිල්ම් හෝල් එකකට නොගිහින් ගෙදර ඉඳන්ම විනෝදාංශයට ඉඩක් ගන්න. පැය 24 පුරාම කැමතිම හොඳම ජනප්‍රියම හොලිවුඩ් චිත්‍රපට ඇතුළුව සිනමා නිර්මාණ නරඹන්න. එන්න ලොකුම සිනමා පුස්තකාලයට. ඇන්ෆ්ලික්ස් සියල් සපිරි උසස් සිනමා රසාස්වාදය පිරුණ තැන.
Catch the action of the New Zealand Tour of Sri Lanka 2024 live. Enjoy 2 test matches from 18th September to 30th September. Live on Dialogue Television, 10 Cricket and Sony Sports 5 HD.
My name is Matthew Nolan. I am being extradited for a crime that I did not commit.
We now have confirmation of deaths on Flight 357. What am I in the middle of?
Red Eye. New series only on AXN.
Catch the excitement real time. Be up to date with it all. Let us capture your milestones. Get it sizzling hot off the turf. Hear the experts break it down. Dig deep into the nitty-gritty. Be inspired by their greatness. Relive all the scintillating action.
This season,
looks like we're going for a ride.
it's all about celebrating the new.
Can't win this war without us, sir.
Bold new storylines.
You jeopardize the man's life?
Stay away.
Epic new battles.
Master Chief.
And new revelations.
I'm wondering if it's Tom Hanks.
Best vocal you've ever done.
So don't miss our freshest drops. And catch our newest seasons while it's hot.
Family.
Gotta keep the faith.
Right here
Remember me?
on Rock Entertainment.
Don't be scared.
Body and the Blood, The Exorcist, Believer, Twice the Mystery, Twice the Trouble, Double Life.
I'm coming, Master!
Stop serving, start living. Renfield. Are you ready to play Dangerous Game? The Legacy Murders. Homework Can Wait. The City Can't. Spider-Man. Homecoming.
කොහොමද යාළුවනේ ඔන්න ඉතින් අදත් මම ආවා ඔයාලට සත්තු ගැන කියලා දෙන්න. ඔව් අද ඩොග් බ්‍රීඩ් එක ඩොබර්මන් විශේෂයක්. හැම්ස්ටර්. දැන් අපි යන්නේ කැට් බ්‍රීඩ් එක ගැන කතා කරන්න.
එකතු වෙන්න My Pet එක්ක. My Pet බ්‍රහස්පතින්දා උදේ 11ට සවස 4ට ඉරිදා සවස 5ට
A+ Kids TV නාලිකාංක 48 ඔස්සේ.
You'll be facing the infamous Tag Team Challenge.
It's our toughest one yet.
You'll have to make 4 different dishes.
It's freaking insane. We're gonna have some big issues.
Switch! Let's go! Switch!
What goes first?
This doesn't look good.
Blow fast. We gotta go.
I got it.
They are really behind.
Switch!
Magical!
We need to start the crate.
The most vicious pick so far.
I'll check your crate!
This is not quite the dream team I had hoped for.
Switch!
You're killing me, man!
A new season of MasterChef USA, only on Hits Now.
Live Monday, September 16th, it's the Emmys. Find out who wins this year's top honors.
have to put this down. I still don't have the strength.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry.
When television's biggest night comes to Hits Now.
I love this part. And the Emmy.
The Emmy goes to...
The 76th Primetime Emmy Awards, only on Hits Now.
Well, it's a beautiful night at the Shark Tank Arena. Here are some optimistic hopefuls. Let's see if they can nail their pitch.
This is Chubby Buttons.
We are the moms behind Cluey.
Heavy metal fire!
Let me think about that. No. Uh-oh, looks like they've unfortunately struck out. That's gotta hurt. But these players have hit it out of the park.
You got a deal.
It's sink or swim in Shark Tank. Only on Hits Now.
I need Nasty Mike. Bad boy. Got this. What you don't do?
Bad Boys Ride or Die. Premieres September 22nd on AXN.
First and exclusive.
Have you met them yet?
Met who?
Hello?
You guys are aware there's like a pretty huge civil war going on.
You don't know what side they're fighting from.
3 hostiles heading your way.
Do not move.
You could be really hot. You change, like, everything.
Good Lord.
Get him, loser.
First and exclusive. All new on Saturdays.
දැන් රෙදි ටීවී නාලිකා වෙතින් ජයරත්න ගලගෙදර ඉදිරිපත් කරන බයිස්කෝප් කතා වැඩසටහන. ඔබ කැමති චිත්‍රපටයේ රසවත්ම කතා අහන්නට බලන්නට ඩයලොග් ටීවී නාලිකා අංක 18 රෙදි ටීවී ඔස්සේ දැන් සෑම සෙනසුරාදාකම සවස් 5:30ට බයිස්කෝප් කතා.
මැදිවියේ ඉන්න කෙනෙක් නම් ඔබ. නැතිනම් ඔබ මේ තරුණ වයසේ ඉඳලා ඔබ හිතනවා නම් මැදිවියට ආවට පස්සේ තමයි ගර්භණී වෙන්න හොඳම කාලේ. ඔබ අම්මා කෙනෙක් වෙන සිහිනය ඉටු කරගන්න තියෙන හොඳම කාලය කියලා මෙහි තියෙන தත්ත්වය පිළිබඳව සැබෑවටම අපි දකින්නේ සෝදානම් වෙලා ඉන්නේ. අපි වැඩිවියටපත් වුණ දවසේ ඉඳන් ආර්තවහරණ හිම නැත්නම් මෙනෝපෝස් වෙන දවස වෙනකන් දරුවෙක් හදන්න හැකියාව කාන්තාවකට තියෙනවා. කෙනෙකුට හිතෙන්න පුළුවන් මම දරුවෙක් හදනවද නැත්නම් මේ හිටියා වගේම අපි දෙන්න විතරක් පවුලේ ඉන්නවද කියන කාරණා පිළිබඳව යම්කිසි විදිහකට වැටහීමක් ඇති කරගන්න කැමතියි.
Welcome back to live pictures here on the Papare TV from the 66th annual Royal Thomian encounter for the Michael Gunaratne Trophy. St. Thomas's finding themselves in an unexpected 5-point lead at half-time as referee Clement Isaac walks back to the centre mark to take charge of the second half. Abdullah Yusuf, former Royal captain, in the commentary box with me. Royal have to play catch-up for the first few minutes with a man down.
Yes, Shanaka, it's not going to be easy. Just need to manage those first 10 minutes of this second half well.
Here's Tiven Pereira. Not sure that running out of the 22 was something he wanted to do. Here's Abdurrahman. And the Royal pin back in their 22. Yuan Pathirana, they have the luxury of a left footer. And he manages to find a decent touch after a couple of phases.
It's well executed exit. So Royal just need to be a bit careful over this next 8 minutes or so. Lost the key player in Gamage to the sin bin. Thomians already managed to knot up 7 points during that period, and Royal will want to ensure that they don't concede much more.
Well, there are some players you can lose to the sin bin, and it's losing a player to the sin bin. But Tinetra Gamage is like losing about 3 players. Nicely done by Udugama, and Michael Gunaratne comes off the back of the ruck. Nice work by Brilliant work by Veerasurya. Long hinges and gets right over the ball. Superb work from the second row.
Yes, brilliant. And the good part about that was he got into a strong base. And he has got long reach as well. So an opportunity for Royal to get back into the Thomian half. Farooq makes no mistake with the touch finder.
It's a good touch finder there from Farooq again from centre field. The ball has to travel quite a distance to the touchline, so it is a lot further than it looked. Veerasurya, Senanayaka rather, at the front. And that's not a clean line out. And now Royal will have to make a decision. They'll need to get a front row forward on. So this could be a really interesting moment in the game. The scrum has come about 3 minutes after Tinetra Gamage has gone to the bench. So unless Ayashyam can go into the hooking position, they will have to bring on a front row forward. In fact,
3 and 4. They one shot, so 3 and 4.
But they are putting Veerasurya, the tallest player on the park, in the front row.
When he comes back.
It's interesting to see whether he's listed as a front row forward replacement. But looks like he can do everything.
Set. Hold, blue, hold, hold. Hold, gold, hold.
Farooq thumps this deep into the hands of Akit Kure, who rifles it into touch and brings some sanity back to proceedings. Some Royal Rugby royalty in those front row seats there, Abdullah. Played the game from 30 years ago in 1994, I think, most of those lads.
Yes, quite a few anxious faces as well. Well, definitely looking to win some silverware before the season ends, as we had a look at Tinet Gamage.
Rajiv Malalasekara winning against much fancied Nilan Vijay Gunawardana's side in 94. You were on the bench in that game as Senanayaka drives forward and knocks the ball on, and there's a couple of other knock-ons. So they will come down. There might have been a bit of a head knock there.
Yes, it was a very strong run by Veerasurya, but just lost the ball eventually in contact. Interesting to see whether it resulted in a head knock as a result, being treated a bit. Last thing Royal need at this stage is to lose their talismanic vice captain.
It'll be interesting to see that one again, to see if there was any damage to Veerasurya.
Start with the scrum to you. You start with the scrum to you. There's a knock on by Royal. You start with the scrum to you. Yeah.
Veerasurya still taking a bit of time to get back up, but does just that. He'll need a horse and cart to drag him off the field in this encounter, that's for sure. Dr. Namit Sankalpana. So plenty of experience at the highest level with this sort of thing. And everybody is happy. He's having a little smile, and Veerasurya will retake his place from the second to the front row.
Yes, sure the Royal bench would breathe a sigh of relief that Veerasurya is back on his feet. So scrum for the Thomians. sure will want to get out of this half, of their half rather.
Well, a second row who can play tight head, that is something, Abdullah. That really is something. Tight head scrum is, tight head prop rather. It's one of the most difficult positions to play in this scrum. Probably the most difficult position. But the second row is doing it with aplomb. Kicked down to Yuan Patirana, who will look to do that nice little hip swerve. They slow him down, but not enough. Lovely easy runner, Yuan Patirana. Nice ball to Samarasinghe, who does well to stay in the field of play. And now Royal with their tails up, Naqib Mohammed.
Hands off, blocks formed.
Ayash Shyam now.
Tackler released, roll.
Here's Abdur Rahman carrying in place of his mate who's on the naughty chair for the moment. Here's Shyam, chief ball carrier for Royal.
Blue.
Fernando, Thiven Pereira. It's a static ball for Yahia. Hasn't really got the ball in dangerous positions, the Royal midfield.
No hands, boys.
Fernando looks for options again, and the first option is Shyam, Thiven Pereira. Now that's a long ball to Patirana. Patirana will look to go outside, and Samarasinghe will run hard and straight. Into the 22 he goes. Fernando with another phase. Naqib Mohammed carries strongly but short of the 22. Sitil Pereira holds his head.
No hands, boys, no hands.
Here's Naqib Mohammed looking for it again, but latches on instead to his big second row forward.
Use it.
Abdur Rahman.
Tackler release.
Fernando goes to Idris Farooq, who feigns the drop goal but puts the up and under in. Beautifully taken. Doesn't mark it for some reason, Akit Kure.
Use it. Use it.
Use it is the call from referee Isaac. And in the end, it's Udan Bulatsingala who has to find his brother deep in the in-goal area.
Interesting option by Farooq to go cross with that kick. Probably need to get a bit more height on it. Nonetheless, Royal have a line out in their own 22. What's been good so far for Royal is they managed to just play the game in the Thomian half during this period when they have been down a player.
Really surprised Akit Kure chose not to mark that kick, Abdullah. Maybe he did and the referee lost it in the crowd, but there's this hideous habit that has come from NRL, I think, where you have to put your arm up to get the mark, which is not in the laws of rugby union. It's been knocked forward by Royal. And it's been the absence of Gamage. And this is where you start to realize the value of good prop forwards who do good lifting, Abdullah. As much as jumping in the line out is an important skill, lifting is just such a different aspect to it.
And it's a unit skill as well, isn't it? So you take one player out of the equation, can definitely have an impact. The two lifters, the jumper as well as the thrower. So important to be in unison. And Royal just missing Kamage, who has now made his way back into the field. Royal will be just pleased that they've just conceded the 7 points during his absence.
Yes, they certainly did feel his absence. He's just come back in time. Not a moment too soon for the Tuskers. Going straight to the back as Yahan Bulatsinghe smashes this one up to the 40-meter line. Not sure what the Thomian crowd behind the assistant referee were complaining about.
10 gone. 25 to go, yeah.
Akash Fernando with 25 minutes left on the clock, already asking the referee what the time is. You've got to wonder how they feel about keeping Royal out, if that's the question. St. Thomas's cannot afford to defend this lead. They need to go in.
Right.
Looks like they've got a numbers difference.
Because you were messing around with it. They've got 5, you take 1 out. Yeah. Yeah. It's fine.
So referee Clement Isaac stopping the clock just to make sure he gets the numbers right. Sensible refereeing there. Shyam is the receiver. And Senanayaka goes to the back. And Shyam goes to Veera Surya. Akash Fernando making another important tackle. And Tinath Ragamage, fresh from his little rest, smashes back into the Thomian defensive line. Lovely flat ball from Farooq to Pathirana. Pathirana still going. Liana Gunaratne had to make the tackle. Fernando takes a little step and passes. Naqib Mohammed smashed back by his opposite number. Fernando goes blindside. Yuan Pathirana thinks about taking on Jayasinghe. Here's Naqib. Rumbling into the 22 is the Royal hooker. Ayashian asks for it in the short side channel.
Use it!
Goes Abdurrahman. So close quarter stuff from Royal, but not really making a lot of headway.
Use it!
Here it is for the new player. Looks like it's, tell you in a moment. And another kick put through by Farooq. And here's the ball to Akit Kure. Akit Kure with a little bit of space, taken late. Play on is the call. Looks like backwards is the call. I'm not sure that was anywhere close to being back. And where did Pathirana come from to play that ball?
He was committed. That's fine. Playing on. We're playing on.
And Farooq now will gratefully smash this one. But again, the chasers just not showing the discipline that referee Isaac has wanted from minute 1.
So as we have a look at that once again,
Backwards.
I think it should have been a penalty nonetheless, because Yahya definitely made contact with the ball. So eventually the correct outcome from that play is the case.
Clear and obvious. Yes. What do you reckon?
Because actually it was a ground game, so only penalty in here.
So the shoulder charge is not a card.
Yes.
We had the advantage.
Yeah.
There's a penalty to St. Thomas's here for Royal offside, so we go with the penalty.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So good communication from the assistant referee there. There's been a shoulder charge. We'll find out who exactly it was.
So there's a shoulder charge by number 3. Okay? Number 3? Yes. Right? It's not a card, it's only a penalty. Right? Just be careful. Watch the tackles. Okay? It's a penalty against you again. Charging after the kick. It's a penalty against you, but discipline is on you. Okay? Thanks.
It's nicely handled there by referee Isaac, but he said there's been a shoulder charge by number 3, and he's lucky it's not a card, because it would have been Tinath Ragamage and he would have had his marching orders if that was the case. But again, when you go back to that incident, Abdullah, Yuan Pathirana picking up the ball from an offside position, it could have prevented a scoring chance for St. Thomas's, which meant it could have been a cynical yellow card as well. So I think Royal quite lucky to get away with just the option of giving Jehan Bulat Sinhala a shot here.
Yes, you'd have to say so. So Thomians on this occasion deciding to go for the points, or rather 3 points, the 3-pointer rather than possible 7-pointer. A big kick in the context of the game, you'd have to say.
Mathematically makes sense to get out to more than 8 points ahead, and Bulat Singalage has been flawless off the mark so far. 20 points to 12.
Number 12
is the game.
12 goal. Number 12. Number 12. Who's number 12?
So it looks like Nabil Yahya is going to the bench, and this has Patirana has come on at first inside. Now that's an interesting call. This has Patirana started at number 8 up in Kandy last week. Has played on the flank and now starts or comes off the bench to replace Nabil Yahya's boot at number 12. So that time Bulat Singalage hurries the kick, gets it away, and the exit is much better. Now Patirana. What will he spark? This mercurial fullback. Here it is again, as you pointed out, Abdullah. The pod of forwards taking the ball quite far back. Patirana with the lucky to get away with that, I think, Jayasinghe. It's like there might have been a knock on. Yes, there was. He didn't get away with it. Nicely spotted by, I think, the entire crowd as well as the assistant.
Knock on, sure.
It's an interesting grubber kick by Patirana. Just realized that there was nothing on there. Such a big advantage to have a left footer in your team. Gives you 2 kicking options. Well, probably not maximizing on that, as we have a look at that once again.
Hold the charge, okay, sir.
Imperative that Royal use this situation to get some points on the board. 8 points adrift. We've entered the final 20 minutes of this game.
This is Patirana at the back. His fresh legs look for him to take on the first line. Yes, he does. Shavin Udugama shrugs him off. Patirana almost over the line. It's a brilliant run from the number 8. Using him as an impact player. St. Thomas's have defended well previously, but do they have enough in the tank at this point in the game? And no, they've knocked it forward. No, they've scored. He was right on the spot, referee Clement Isaac, and he saw it being scored. And Abdur Rahman is the man who gets it down. And my goodness, what an important score that is for Royal.
Yes, a sigh of relief, you'd have to say, from the Royalists. For a moment there, Shanaka thought the Royal had botched it, but the referee was right on the spot. Had a very clear view, and the grounding was done. So Ayashiam managing to pull things back for Royal. And Idris Farooq with an opportunity to further narrow this deficit.
Farooq to make it a 1-point game. The way he's been kicking, you have to put your money on the youngster. At his home ground, and he's absolutely nailed that one. 19 plays 20 in the Michael Gunaratne Trophy. There's 18 minutes left on our clock. Don't know exactly how many left on referee Isaac's clock. But another change for Royal as Akbar comes in. Here's the try. And Ayaz Shyam it was who looks like he's grounded it. Would be interesting to see that one again. But we don't obviously have the front on angle. But no, not any protests from the Thomian defenders. And somehow Royal not wanting to claim that one, and it bounces into touch.
Yes, it looks like Jayanidhu has come to the field. As we have a look at that once again. Ayashiam with a little bit of help from his teammate. Yes, I think the grounding had happened and then the ball did pop out. Got a little bit of help from Senanayaka as well. So it looks like Jayanidu will be taking that number 12 position, and Patirana will move to his customary number 8. To say that it's probably Rana Singh who has been replaced.
What do you want? Line out or scrum?
Nakib Mohammed has made an error.
Line out or scrum? Scrum.
And referee giving the option. St. Thomas is thinking about it before asking for the scrum. And it's on the 15-meter line. Michael Gunaratne's eyes should light up here. I'd like to see him take on the line, Abdullah. He's had this habit of stepping off his right foot and beating the flanker on the inside, which is great. But I'd like to see him really wind up and get that fend in on the blind side. Senanayaka will be sizing him up.
It's a very strong ball carry is the Thomian number 8. Breaking off the back of the scrum. Warding off the Royal third row. Creating a ruck. Royal trying to counter ruck, but Thomians managed to hold that off. Now attacking along the fringes, and they have lost position, unfortunately.
Sitil Pereira it was, who looks like he's out on his feet. And this has been the problem for St. Thomas's. They haven't had the quality to bring in off the bench, especially in this front row. So Sitil Pereira and Dehan Senaratne have to manfully trudge through these 70 minutes. And against this Royal pack, front row forwards lifting and holding this giant set of Tuskers are going to be fagged out. But again, I'm surprised that Gunaratne chose to go open side rather than blind.
It was always on the cards from the side. If you go by the side, Veerasurya fed the ball in from Farooq with the clearance. And another very good touch finder by the Royal pivot, sending play almost to the halfway mark.
And he's been superb today, hasn't he, Idris Farooq? He's managed the game really well. St. Thomas's will have the ball, and I think the Thomian fans would dearly love to see it in the hands of Liana Gunawardene and Haliagoda, who have barely touched the ball in any attacking position for the last hour or so. Waninga Surya has gone backwards, and Akash Fernando will do well to come away with that. He's had a good game, Akash. Much better one than he did last week. Here's Haliagoda making a run.
No hands, no hands, no hands now.
Here's Lenagala again carrying in that ineffective way. So he needs to get out of the way of the ball. Little chip from
backwards.
Bulat Sinhala, and Yuan Patrana will kick this all the way across the field. He's lucky there was no Thomian defender back.
Yes, a really good touch finder by the Royal fullback. Just wonder whether that was the correct option by the Thomian skipper. Would have done well to keep ball in hand, just create a few faces, because the Royal did have the back field well covered.
The skipper needs to make sure he brings the other players into the field. Haliagoda with his first real touch of the game, breaking the gain line. The Thomian crowd finding their voice. And that was an infringement in the air. Yes, well spotted by referee Isaac. It was Veerasurya who interfered while the jumper was in the air. And with the wind at their back, will Bulat Sinhala opt for the posts again?
Yes, you can tap the ball, but I don't think you can grab it. You can't grab it while in the air. So well spotted by the ref. And the Bulat Sinhala again misses touch.
Can't
Hold!
make contact with the arm is the rule, Abdullah. And looks like that was a good touch find in the end.
And how well was that collected as well, Shanaka? It was dipping on him. It was Farooq once again, I believe. Once again getting Royal out of a tight situation, as he has done on many occasions.
Keeping it nice and low, Bulat Singhala, but just a little bit too low. Wonderfully taken by Farooq. And he's calm as well, isn't it? Runs it right up to the 22-meter line. Not rushed in anything he does. I think we're seeing a star in the making here. Ball goes back and it's knocked forward by Vikramasuriya. So the Thomian resistance,
At the line out, so the marks
I think the phrase we use while we are playing, Abdullah, at this point, if I was a Royal player, I would be saying to each other, Mandale Kacha.
Yes, Thomians seem to be a little bit anxious, isn't it? A few errors creeping into their game. Still leading by 1 point though, but 10 minutes here to go.
1 point is barely a lead at this venue.
You're not binding, you're pushing him, right? You know what a bind is? Bind is behind his back over there. You're not pushing, okay?
Kamige given a crash course on what the touch call means.
Bind! Set!
Fernando feeds and Ayash Shyam is at the back this time. Here's Steven Pereira at first receiver. Stands up the defense nicely and ghosts outside. Beautiful run by the Royal captain, brought down by his opposite number. But Royal with their tails up now. Bulat Singhala again makes another important tackle. And here's Gamage.
Tackle, no hands!
Fernando. Inside ball to Abdurrahman, who has carried the ball manfully this game. Farooq now will give the long ball out to Patirana, the dangerous Patirana, Samarasinghe.
Tackle! Roll! Advantage.
Well, that was really nicely done by Tiven Pereira again. Managed to hold Jayasinghe inside that ruck to prevent him from rolling away. And Fernando now will...
Tackler, please roll.
That's really good work. If you watch Tiven Pereira, he made sure he got his boot in the way of Jayasinghe, who couldn't roll away as a result, and painted the picture for the referee.
Where it happened. That's for the tackle, that's for the mark.
So interesting option for Royal. Looks like they will be going to touch. It will be Patirana just slotting it in as we have a look at that once again.
Here it is. Tiven Pereira in number 13 gets there, and you see how he traps the Thomian player in there, preventing him rolling away. And that's really smart play by the Royal skipper.
And also I thought the Thomian player need to roll the other way, wasn't it, Shanaka? He was going against the tide, making it much more difficult for him.
Can you not stay in one place?
Royals' line out has faltered in this second half. Crucial that they get this right. See a bit of communication between Mohammed and Veerasuriya as well as Ranasinghe.
That's better from Royals line out. Now they will hope to drive this one back, but Shyam comes away with it. He knows he's got the penalty advantage as well. Still playing advantage, and Royal now will know that they have a dead-eye kicker to try and get the lead from here.
Tackler release!
Here's Jayanindu. In fact, it's this as Patirana. Fernando with some quick ball, and they're going for the drop goal. Oh, this is a beauty. It's an absolute beauty. No, it's not. It's just wide of the post, but he will try.
Not 10 at the ball.
Again from the mark. He knew the penalty advantage was coming, Idris Farooq.
Backline advancing before the ball started moving.
Well, I thought Farooq seemed confident that he had struck it well enough, but Once again, referee Isaac right on the spot, had the best view. So have a look at that once again. But just the confidence to even take it, Shanaka. Struck it well.
Short wind up, short follow through, all in the timing. And the Thomian backline letting their forwards down that time by advancing too fast before the maul came up. Needed to hold their 10 meters and giving away a really crucial penalty. And will have to defend for their lives with the Michael Gunaratne Trophy on the line. This is Patrina, goes off the back, goes laterally, draws 5 Thomian defenders to him. Now they need to fold. Gamage almost saw the Red Sea opening, did Tinetra Gamage.
Release.
Fernando, Farooq calls for it. Nice flat ball to this Patrina, who goes over the line but he's held up. Oh, that's great defense. Outstanding defense from Akash Fernando. He's unmistakable in his red scrum cap. And that was really good work from the Thomian flanker.
Well, they're having a consultation, the referees. And that call will stand. So brilliant work by the Thomian wing three-quarter.
Bulat Singalage will want to thump this one as far as he possibly can. I don't know what the laws say if a goal line dropout goes dead at the other end. But it is the kind of thing that Bulat Singala makes us think about. The chase has to be good. Here's Fahad Nazar with the ball for the first time in a long time. So strong, the right winger. He's been one of the underrated cogs in this royal wheel. Tinet Gamage. Nothing underrated about him. He has been absolutely immense this season. Patirana, Tiven Pereira, lovely little step. This Patirana has been an absolute thorn in the side of St. Thomas's since he came on. Nakib. Here it is, back in the pocket for Farooq, who finds his 2 second rowers. Lovely ball out, looked like it might be a little flat. But referee was on hand.
Release.
No maul called, so Abdur Rahman will hand off to his prop partner. Fernando getting some quick ball. Nakib Mohammed, the Thomian line under enormous pressure. Farooq. Here's Tiven Pereira. Lovely hands from Patirana. Samarasinghe thought he might have the winner, Abdur Rahman. 5 meters out. Tackled by Jayasekara. Here's Gamage. Pumping those tired legs. Sitil Pereira with an important tackle. Akash Fernando finds his body in the way again. Here's a little bit of space now opening up, and that's the drive for Yuan Patrana. Looks like there's absolutely no doubt about that. As Royal scored the winner, it was only a matter of time. Yes, Patrana puts the little dummy in and manages to get the ball down.
Yes, on that occasion, Royal showed good patience, was it, Ishanaka? They did not, at no time did they try and force the issue, just created phase after phase. And Patirana going over for his second try of the game. So a crucial conversion for Royal just to get that lead beyond the 5-pointer.
Jurassic Park becomes a Jurassic Library as Farooq steps up. Looks like he might have... Oh no, it's good. Thought But he might have pulled it slightly wide. Referee under the crossbar. Thought a little bit more about it than his other assistant. You can see Farooq going around and saying there's just 1 minute.
Royal 1.
Yes, that's just squeezed in at the inside of the right post. And Dushant Luke will breathe a little bit easier in his 50th game in charge. The crackers are going off. It's 1 minute till they go off in an absolute salvo. The ball is spilled. Naqib Mohammed. St. Thomas's have one chance. What can they do with it? Here's Haliagoda. Runs into the tackle of Abdur Rahman.
Nothing there. Lost forward.
No advantage, so they will come back for the knock-on.
Yes, probably the final play of the game. Will the Thomians be able to pull a rabbit out of the hat here, Shanaka?
We got time to play.
They've been in this one. They've led a majority of this game.
Well,
a prime attacking opportunity.
You were in the box in 2016, Abdullah, when Navin Henakan Kanamge scored from pretty much exactly the same position. It's a good attacking scrum. What does Michael Gunaratne have in store in his young legs? Haliagoda and Liana Gunawardene have been completely absent in this game so far. Will they have one final opportunity? Or will Royal's famed defense manage to do the job? Gunaratne cut down beautifully by Senanayaka, who makes a beautiful chop tackle. They've got the advantage. They have to go for touch. 3 points is not going to be enough, but they can throw caution to the winds here and go for a real attack. Vikramasuriya, will he go quickly? Oh, they've called for a scrum. Lost their faith in the line out for some reason. But they also know that even if it is a line out, it will probably be scored close to the corner flag, which makes the conversion all the harder. And with the clock turning red now, it really is the last chance for the Thomians.
Gets too big, lads. That gets too big. Coach! Point! Set!
Both sets of supporters absolutely on the edge of their seats here. Vikramasuriya palms it back and finds Udan Bulat Singhal. Vikramasuriya again. The ball looks like it's spilled forward, and that's pretty much the end. And that is the game. St. Thomas's so close, but yet so far. And the Michael Gunaratne Trophy is the one that Royal managed to annex. You can see the sense of relief on the face of the Royal supporters, as will be on their coaching bench, as will be in the players. And St. Thomas's suffer another devastating loss in a game that they led for a large part of that second half. Just didn't have enough legs to keep Royal out. And the coach in his 50th game in charge, you can see the emotion, you can see what it means to him. And Royal celebrate as the season comes to an end for this team that has gone through everything this year.
Yes, and you can just sense the disappointment in the Thomian lads' faces as well. Threw everything into it. Led majority of the game as well, Shanak, and that will be the disappointing aspect from them. But Royal just hanging in there. They needed to pull out everything, every ounce of their reserves. And very relieved Royal coach Dushant Luke in his 50th game. But Shanak, you'd have to say we've seen some wonderful rugby this season from all schools. Some really closely contested games. This game was no different. Thomians coming to this game would have definitely fancied their chances. Thought just go purely by form on the upward trajectory, but Royal just hanging in there and eventually managing to get a little bit of silverware to end their season on a positive note.
Well, you have to say that the injection of Disas Pathirana and Jayanidu into the back line and the back row, Abdullah, made a big difference for Royal. He carried the ball so many times in that last 10 minutes and really created problems. They managed to get the ball to Fahad Nazar and Samarasinghe on the two wings as well, who made good inroads and even better managed to keep the ball in play. And I think you and I are both agreed that our man of the match today will be Idris Farooq for the way he managed to control this game and managed to distribute as well as get Royal out of trouble when he needed to.
Yeah, I think that final point which you mentioned, Shanaka, played a big part in Royal just hanging in there, isn't it? They had a few difficult moments when they lost Gamagate to the sin bin, and it was Farooq through his boot and just his composure overall, keeping Royal in play. Royal got off to a flying start.
This is a try scored by Fahad Nazar, which was the first try of the game in as early as the 3rd minute. And Royal seemed to sit on those laurels for a while in this game. Winning the first penalty of the match. Stepping up. The skipper hit that outswinging Yorker to the left-handed batsman. Diven Pereira unselfishly giving that ball to Yuan Pathirana to score his first try. And Tehan Senaratne got the first of his two from close range. Sinhala converted and suddenly St. Thomas's were in a lead. Tehan Senaratne getting his second and Bulak Sinhala getting another kick over, and that's when Royal started their comeback. That was a try scored by Aya Shyam. Referee Clement right on the spot. And Farooq with an important conversion at that stage of the game, Abdullah. And here's Pathirana. Took two defenders on. He had the ball to give Samarasinghe, but took them both on, and the penalty just shaving the right hand upright. And a relieved Dushanth Leuke shares a smile with his chairman Rajiv Manalasekara and his long-time mate Shivan Kanagiswaran, who will be very happy to get a trophy in the cabinet this year. St. Thomas's have to wait at least another year before Michael Gunaratne makes that long trek across town to Mount Lavinia. Royal 26, STC 20, 4 tries for Royal and 3 conversions, 2 penalty goals for St. Thomas's kept them in the hunt, but in the end it was just a little bit too many defensive errors for St. Thomas's to hold them out.
Yes, that's right. A lot of relief, you'd have to say, amongst the Royal supporters. Things probably did not go their way for majority of the season, despite a very good start. I have to say, Shanaka, St. Thomas's had their moments as well, isn't it? Just couldn't close out that game in the final few minutes. I thought they'd have an upper hand in the last 10 to 15 minutes or so. But as you said, the injection of Pathirana and Jayanidu probably made a difference. Those fresh legs helping Royal to get a bit more go-forward ball. And eventually just getting that crucial try at the crucial moment.
For the Thomians, I thought they played really well, Abdullah, but in the end, it was all the defending that the forwards had to do. They had to do all the attacking and all the defending. And that was where the problems came. The conditioning just didn't hold out. And in the end, it was the tiredness. You could see it was the tiredness that allowed Royal in for those tries. So you have to feel for the Thomian forwards. Unfortunately for them, as much as they wanted to, the centres couldn't come into the game. That was probably our strongest area of the game, the centre pairing between Haliagoda and Leona Gunaratne, and they just couldn't manage to bring them in defensively or offensively too much into the game.
Yeah, that's right. And sometimes you just wonder, isn't it, when you have a roaming fly half, whether it actually helps the cause. Bulat Sinhalage at 15 came into that first receiver position on a few occasions as well, but just couldn't get that Thomian line running, isn't it? And when Thomians have given the other teams a run, it's that centre combination that has always given them that front foot ball. But as you very correctly said, pretty much going out of the picture completely in this game. So Royal prevailing eventually, 26 points to 20, and will eventually have something to show for their efforts this season.
Thiven Pereira will lead his team up the staircase to receive the Michael Gunaratne Trophy for the 41st time in the 66-year history of the trophy. And it increases the lead that Royal have, a stranglehold of 21 fixtures. And the last win in 2016 under Pandula De Silva's captaincy, and Navin Hena Kankanamge's a spectacular try at this very venue means that that win keeps getting further and further away. And despite the fact that 2 years were lost to COVID, this will remain, in this century at least, the longest gap that St. Thomas's has not won the trophy back. Now beats the gap between 2005 and 2013, from 2016 to 2025 at least, as St. Thomas's win the Thampapille Trophy handsomely, and gives the Thomian supporters a little bit of hope for the future, as Thiven Pereira shakes hands with his own principal, shakes hands with the warden of St. Thomas's College, and receives the Michael Gunaratne Trophy. A proud moment, Abdullah, for this whole team.
Yes, it's probably a season of missed opportunities to a great extent, but eventually have something to show for that as well. And Thiven Pereira hoisting that trophy, much to the jubilation of the Royal College crowd.
Well, it's not a capacity Royal College Sports Complex today, but that won't matter a jot for Royal, who lift the Michael Gunaratne Trophy. You can see the relief and the tiredness on the faces. The Thomians have certainly given them a run for their money, and they can hold their heads high as they troop back to Mount Lavinia to regroup for next season. And thanks very much for joining us here at the Royal College Sports Complex on the Papare TV. We hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the Michael Gunaratne Trophy. Join us tomorrow for the knockout finals between St. Peter's and Isipatana. It's going to be an absolute corker from this same venue. We'll see you then. Until then, from Abdullah Yusuf and myself, it's goodbye for now.